a blur. Just take it slow when you're moving. How do they do that stuff with the flash, making them go so fast and
I
spiky?
imagine they're all video effects. They probably...
Interesting.
Secret Identity show?
Yeah.
I think that's where they got a lot of their effects.
Oh. Did you notice, what was that show? Did you watch Mom P.I.?
No.
It was really good, and guess where it's on? It's on location in Vancouver.
Mom P.I.?
Mom P.I.
Is it mother? What are you taping?
Taking the world around. He's taping everything so they'll have a insurance. Somebody steals it. That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, they do.
Hi, how you doing? This is the news. Circus in Senate over GST has government paralyzed. Hi, I'm Jonathan Ferguson of the Toronto Star. Dateline Ottawa. It's a pity, or perhaps a salvation, that the Senate isn't televised. Canadians aren't able to see firsthand the spectacle of Liberals and Progressive Conservatives slugging it out over the proposed federal goods and services tax. The Senate has remained paralyzed since last week. Well, that's because they're all a bunch of old guys. We all know that. When the battle reduced the so-called number of Chamber of Sober second thoughts into a circus. With no end in sight, the Liberal filibuster is now running around the clock. Which is a funny place to run because you think there'd be more places to run than on a silly clock, but then that's what they want to do. Ottawa is a pretty weird town. And could technically continue for weeks or months. Well, they'll get pretty tired running on the wall, won't they? Meanwhile, government business is piling up at the door of the Senate chamber. Well, they're just taking their time, are they? Well as the GST, the cornerstone of the government's economic policies, other key bills stalled in the Senate include the unemployment insurance coverage overhaul and the pension clawback legislation. If these bills are not passed, the government estimates more than $8 billion will be added to the $30 billion federal deficit this year alone. And that's for this year alone, a $30 billion deficit. Think of all the billions of dollars deficits over the other years. If it was $30 billion every year, and I'll think 10 years, that would be $300 billion. That's a lot of billions of dollars. They should start printing billion-dollar bills and they can pay off our deficit. The legislation launching the multi-billion-dollar Hibernia oil field development project off Newfoundland and the new abortion bill also are held up in the Senate. The GST, a 7% levy on most goods and services, scheduled to take effect January 1st, and the first other bills require Senate approval in the Royal Senate before it comes. We cannot stand the way the government's legislation is adopted. We have to govern. We said the Speaker and the Tory Senate will not submit to the intimidation mob rule. Well, that's the news for today. We've run out of time, so goodbye.
Cat.
National News with Brian Wilson.
Brian, turn it off for my Jeffer.
Oh, hello. Here's Raggedy Andy with today's news.
Well, for today's news, and it's about
The man with the living hair. Oh, look at that stuff moving.
is the Herald of. Wait, let's see here.
Brian, just make up a story.
Here. Let's see.
Today, Keith Wilson's
Okay.
cattle were allowed into another...
Here is what? It's about black people being killed already.
2 in 1 blow.
What's this? Dinosaur. Look at this. This on camera. This. And okay, here's some stupid guys in a helicopter. The Markdale helicopter a long time ago got blew up. The Star Day Star. Okay, let's see. Right here, and maybe.
Oh, yes. Oh, we've got news in a glance. There's the news in a glance.
Well,
Anything else, Knowlton?
yes. Oh, what's over here? Let's see. Hockey players.
Oh, yes. It's a red letter day for Cincy. Cincy. Cincy.
That's today's news. Oh, I forgot.
And what about your correspondent, Leora Wilson? It's had a great item just a second ago saying, let's go.
Fine.
Shall you go to Leora Wilson?
Yeah, I think I'll just look at what time. Oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock.
Today, the cows at the Wilson farm were allowed more feed when their field was enlarged and made smaller. One side was made smaller, the other was enlarged. They are happily munching away, munching away in their new field. Thank you.
The Wilson cattle got their freedom. Here we see a black and white cow, a Holstein enjoying the new pasture at the Wilsons' farm. The Wilsons' farm is located about 2.5 miles off of Highway 10, just outside of Markdale, Ontario. They have a herd of several cows, some of them Jerseys, some of them other breeds. And there's their barn, just outside of Markdale, Ontario. This news flash. And now let's go to reporter Raggedy Ann.
There's some more brown here. And here's one of our
Prize-winning cows.
cattle.
That's one of our prize-winning cattle.
And all
Elsie.
over there are all the cows.
These are all the cows, aren't they wonderful looking? Yes, I have to agree, they are. Brian Wilson, Jeff Wilson, and Raggedy Andy for CBC News. Bye for now.
Bye.
Today,
A Trump woodpecker.
who was pecking holes in this house, he had very, very large holes pecked. Made one mistake. He got killed. There we see his bullet riddled. I don't know.
There's what's left of his bullet-riddled body. He was in this tree, and Keith Wilson of RR6 Markdale, Ontario, shot him, blowing his head off.
The Trump woodpecker
Was unavailable for comment. And that's the news. Thank you very much for all our reporters.
I was an
For all their
eyewitness
help.
to the woodpecker slaying, but I didn't see it.
May I have a word with this woodpecker?
Certainly, please do.
He's laughing.